If you're going to make your soup from scratch, you're going to be using cloves, star anise, and basil if you can't find fresh bay leaves. If you don't have whole chili peppers, you can use dashes of chili powder. You'll need lots of garlic. You do have an Asian food section in your store. Chili garlic sauce. This is going to be really good. You're going to need a little bit of at least canola oil. Vegetable oil also works. And then for a little bit of spice, you can go ahead and add a little dollop of sesame oil. As for your soup base, you're going to need a lot of chicken broth. I would get at least 2 quarts. If you're vegan, I would get vegetable broth instead. For your vegetables and things, you want to be putting in your favorite vegetables, especially if you're vegan or vegetarian. If you have any of the kind of Asian vegetables, you could do bok choy, tong choy, or anything like that. But if you don't, any sort of leafy greens would be a good substitution for those. You want vegetables that mostly absorb a lot of like soup broth and flavor into them, so the thicker leafy greens are perfect. Ideally, you want the thinnest cut meats. But if that does not work and you can't find meat, or your local butcher can't cut the meat thinly for you, what you can do instead is you can have the lean sirloin sticks. They look kind of like this. You want to do something with small chunks because you don't want to put it in the soup too long. It'll lose its flavor and it'll lose its tenderness as well. Even if you get big meats like this, make sure that it has even marbling, and then you cut it into very small slices, as small as possible. I'm a meat person, not much of a beef person, no problem. You can go ahead and get pieces of turkey or even chicken. Just make sure they're sliced thinly as possible, as small chunks as possible. Most grocery stores have these in California, but I don't know if this is the case in other parts of the world and how accessible it is. But your favorite kind, oh no, it started raining! Your favorite kind of, the best kind of vegetable to put in are Asian vegetables, such as bok choy, which looks like this. Sometimes it comes smaller, which is a little nicer. You can cut it into chunks and then cut off the little root base, and you'll be good to go. In order to take a little bit of that meat flavor away from your soup, because over time there will be, you want to throw in chunks of green onions, especially this base area after you cut off the little fuzzy roots. If you live near an Asian grocery store, it's going to be really easy to get your soup base. All you got to do is go to the soup base section and get your favorite type, or the one that intrigues you the most. My favorite personal brand is Little Sheep. They're one of the best. They have actually chains around the world of their brand. This one is really good. It's one of their plain soups. This is the one that isn't spicy. But there is a really spicy one too, and that's kind of a burn your asshole kind of situation, you know what I mean? For meats and sauces, you can go literally into the meats and sauce area. The oyster sauce is really good when you're dipping your meats if you want. Limitless supplies of chili brands. Generally, when you're making hot pot, you want the thinnest meats with the best marbling of fat. Something like this. Your local Asian store will generally have, during the season of hot pot, all the kind of hot pot meat varieties. My favorite is lamb. Another ingredient you can put into your hot pot are fish balls. There's an assortment of fish meats and byproducts into these balls, and essentially all you have to do is stick them into your soup and boil them. That's it. They're really easy to make, and they're pretty delicious and flavorful. Ideally, for a hot pot itself, if you are able to get to some sort of pressure cooker or some sort of tabletop instant pot, or even just like this baby right here. This beauty is the Cadillac of hot pot creation. You can choose your debris and everything, and you can even grill meat if you want.